Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is your girl BJ Beeman, your mental health advocate, coming to you talking about healing the whole body, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, physically, environmental, financially, whole healthy living. So a while back, I posted that I won a book called Taking My Soul Back, Healing, Health and Healing. And I have been reading it. The book is by Demetra Hill Kennedy. I'm not sure who she is. I won this book from another business, connecting the dots. But this book is amazing. And so I'm not going to go detail about the book to you. I believe you can find it on Amazon. I am going to try to get a link that I can post this link on my pages so you can go and get it. Because if you're open to healing, if you want healing, this book is it. But I did take some notes, and I'm going to share some of my notes with you. Um, if you follow me on Facebook on my Celebrating All of You page, you know that I talked about as I entered the month of September, I was afraid of my emotions and the things that I will be feeling or going through in the process of coming up on the first date of death of my mother. So in the process of doing that, I received this book. I've been reading this book, and it's helping me overall. I tell people I went to therapy for grief counseling, and I got the whole package. And that's what life is about. The only way you're going to succeed if you deal with the whole package. You can't deal with one issue and not deal with the other because it affects every part of your wellness chart. So some of the things that I want to share with y'all. My topic is dealing with grief, depression, anxiety, and health issues. Back in May, I blogged and talked about having the hysterectomy surgery and the recovery and the process through that. And it's real. There is no manual to anything we do in life. But if we share our stories, if we listen to what other people go through, then we can use some of their things so we can get better. And so that's why I'm here today to share some of my thoughts with you. So, again, what are we working on? Mental, emotional, physical, intellectual, financially, socially, and environmental wellness. What does that look like for you? So, if we were to be real, there's not one category we're 100% in. Some we're stronger in than others, and some we're barely even understanding how to see it. And so, in the process of this book, when I read it, I think on all of those categories. So, in chapter 1, it's how to give me my soul back. It talks about misunderstanding of intimacy, participation, and limited. What does that mean? Well, for me, that means, why did I allow myself to become sexually active when I did? Or why did I participate in certain relationships that I knew weren't healthy for me, but I did? And it goes back to my early childhood, teen years, when I got raped. And my mom taught me one thing about my body, that my virginity was the one thing that I had to give to my husband. So when I got raped, and I got raped because I trusted a guy, I got raped because I disobeyed my mama rules, I got raped because I was one of the only females in the environment that I lived in that was not having sex. And I thought I was better than them because I wasn't having sex. Well, I didn't think I was better than them. I just was raised a little different than them. But my environment around me was into sex, drugs, and money. And when They took my virginity. They took more than my virginity. They took my self-pride. They took my self-worth, my concept, my image. In a moment of my purity, I became participation limited. I allowed myself to get into a relationship with a guy told me he loved me, and that, you know, he was with for a year. I never told anybody I got raped. I went my whole 8th grade year telling I didn't get raped. I told nobody. I didn't tell my mama, my best friends, nothing. And eventually I started talking to this one guy, and I told him. I told, at that time, the young girl who was my best friend. And the guy did what he thought he did. He gave me a shoulder to cry on. And that's something I wasn't used to. A guy who gave me a shoulder to cry on. A guy who said, I'll take care of you and I'll protect you. And guess what? I participated. And I allowed myself to go into him. Ended up getting my heart broke because he was a young guy and he wasn't ready for a committed relationship. And he was an athlete, and that meant, hey, he wanted to play the dozen. But he had this one little girl that was so in love with him that I participated. And then I started allowing myself to be options. How many of us allow ourselves to be options or to participate in relationships that we know we have no business being in, but because of previous hurt and pain, we did? That's unhealthy intimacy. That's unhealthy participation in relationships that we allow ourselves to get into that we have no business being in because of wounds. The reason I trusted the guy who raped me so much was because my father wasn't there. So I was yearning at a young age for male love and attention because of the absence of a father. No. Fathers, this is for you too. Realize you have to break generation curses, cycles, situations, whatever you call them. If you have a daughter out there and you are not actively in that girl's life, child support is not enough. It's not. And so what you have to do, you have to find a way, ladies, to move your emotions out the way. Fathers, to understand that you have to break generation cycles. Because if you don't have a father, a male role model that's actively engaged in young girls' life and showing them and dating them and making sure you're not their first heartbreak, then they're going to set themselves up to get in relationships that are going to put them in a situation that they're going to get hurt. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because you're in a 2-parent home doesn't mean you solved all the problems. Because if you're not making quality time, if you're not talking to them, if you're not facing issues, if you're not paying attention to the obvious, then you can let something go right beside you because you're more focused on materialistic, you're more focused on the house that you live in, you're more focused on the car that you're driving or what you're giving your kids. I gave my baby a car when she turned 16, or I did this or that. But did you give your baby her self-worth? The biggest thing that has, if I look back over my 41 years, no, as much as my mom tried, there were certain things because there was a big generation. You got to remember, I'm 10 years younger than my older sister. So there were certain things my mama did not understand and couldn't relate to. But the fact that I did not have a father that loved on me, that provided and protected me, made a big difference in who I am. And I'm not bashing men, because there was some things that my mama could have did different that would have supported my dad being in my life. And that's why I'm telling you now, ladies, if you're keeping your daughter from their father because of personal issues that you have with you, personal issues that you have with men, personal issues that you have with your father, break that generation curse now. Break that generation cycle now. because they need their fathers. Stepfathers, you got the harder task because you got to build down and tear down walls, but you chose that road. So in knowing what causes pain, what causes women to do some of the things they do, I come to you now and telling my story to you so you can learn from what my experience is and protect and save the next generations to come. It's not too late. Take advantage of the opportunity. Get out there, get engaged, find a way to make some connections, heal mamas, heal daughters, heal nieces, heal grandmamas, fathers, brothers, uncles. Get involved and heal. Break the generation cycles. Let's make a difference in our youth. This is your girl, BJ Beeman, coming to you with just one phase of the book. And it talks about taking my soul back. To take my soul back means I have to face why I'm in this situation. I forgave the guy who raped me a long time ago, but I did not face why I trusted this guy so much. And it was because I needed my daddy. So that's the process of the healing that I have to go through, even the process of me grieving my mom's death. This is your girl, BJ Beeman, coming to you with mental health awareness. I am your advocate. I am your life coach. I am your friend. I am here for you. Check me out on Instagram, BJ Beeman. Check me out on Snapchat, BJB1976. Check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/celebrating all of you. Hit me up by text, 904-580-2534. If you got a question, share your story, or if you're looking for services, I'm here for you. Be great. Love, joy, and peace. Have a great Monday. It's Mindset Monday. Be blessed.